I'm in the kitchen, and this is Mr. Ramsey and, of course, Tamara Yarbrough. You own a winery.
I'm the smallest owner.
The smallest owner.
By far the smallest owner.
Are they typically owned by individuals or by corporations?
A lot of wineries, of course, start out as a family business, and then as they grow, a lot of them become corporate entities. The Mondavi sold their winery this past year, and I think it was a big family winery that went corporate, so yes.
Okay, and Tamara, of course, she's been on the program before talking about BUDS, bringing up children with Down syndrome. So if you have a special needs child and you need to talk to her, you can do that. She has many hats. She also is a wine rep in Huntsville and now in Athens. So if you're a restaurant in Athens and you serve alcohol and you need to speak to someone, you can. She's what?
She's our rep in Athens.
Oh, great. All right. And, of course, you can find all of these wines at Star Market. But the reason we're up here this morning is actually Mr. Ramsey's in town, so he wanted to come visit us again. Now, all of these wines that you see here, we did want to make this extremely clear, especially since alcohol is such a touchy subject here in Limestone County these days. You see, notice that some of these, or all of these wines have some missing. We have not been drinking wine this morning, but we're going to. James says that's what you think. No, he has not either. He's just naturally goofy in the mornings. But we have to tell you, when you go on a wine tasting, how do you taste all that wine without just getting bombed?
Well, you see a lot of people when they'll take a sip, they'll swirl it, they'll pull air over it, aerate it, and then they'll spit it in a container. And it's not because they don't like the wine; it's because if you swallow too much wine, you lose your objectivity, and you're not able to taste and be objective about it. So.
And you won't remember which wines you liked at the end of the day versus not. Now, Tim, you do a lot of wine tastings. Right now, they've all been in Huntsville, but are you available for any wine tastings in Athens?
We do lots of them. There's just about every night of the week, there's a wine tasting somewhere in the city of Huntsville.
Okay. Now, you can actually go and do a wine tasting or actually go and participate in a wine tasting. And it doesn't mean that you're going to leave and you can't drive, you can't function, but it is, of course, always good, and make sure you have a driver, a sober driver.
Well,
and you guys
at the winery, when people come to the winery, there's a specific amount we're allowed to pour so that everyone says, oh, I'm going to be intoxicated. You're not going to be intoxicated because we're not going to pour enough for you to be intoxicated.
And I'm sure that's very important for you to keep up with, too.
Absolutely, sure.
Especially in the world of DUIs, which, by the way, you can call Taunton and Christian.
We have to have a tasting permit, and we've all been instructed on how to not let people have too much. So.
And there is a limit. Now, seeing how in Limestone County there's a big wet-dry issue taking place right now.
About that.
You did hear about that.
Yes.
Now, you have a lot of the elder crowds thinking, oh, you can't have alcohol at all, but now doctors are actually recommending 1 glass per day.
Yes. A lot of doctors are recommending a glass of wine each day to help with their blood and help with heart conditions. And also, a lot of people have it late in the evening to help them sleep. Especially red wine tends to be good for heart conditions and for lowering cholesterol and so forth. But a lot of people who don't drink wine don't really like the drier wines. That's one of the reasons why our Davenport Red is so popular. It's made out of Concord grapes, which is the same grapes that Welch's Grape Juice makes theirs out of. So it's a very sweet red wine, and it is our second bestseller at the winery. And it does very well here in Huntsville and in Athens, I hope.
Yes.
How, you talk about there's so many different wine choices. How would one know what to choose with what kind of dinner?
Well, the best thing is to simply try them or talk to your friends and see what they like. And don't worry about just drinking something because someone else says it's good. I mean, just because someone likes a dry red doesn't mean that's the only good wine.
Gotcha.
I tell a lot of people that if I'm on a bass boat on Center Hill Lake and it's 98 degrees, I don't want to drink a room temperature Cabernet Sauvignon. I want something sweet and cold. So.
Now, in the break, we were also talking. You actually are married and you have children, and your wife is Church of Christ.
She is.
Now, isn't that a touchy subject in your family?
No, I think a lot of churches and a lot of people in churches. There's people that it's a problem. There's people that it's not a problem. We in our family believe all things in moderation, and it's not. It's never.
And that's the key. All things in moderation.
All things in moderation.
Just like you can overeat, and that's bad too. But it surely doesn't bring on near the controversy as alcohol does.
That's true.
Okay, you can drink responsibly, and just because you drink doesn't mean you have to get drunk. And there are lots of great tasting wines that actually enhance a meal as well.
Yes, they do. There's specific wines that will bring out specific flavors. One of the things we do at the winery that's very different is we pair our homemade chocolate fudge with our raspberry mist. It shows people that you can pair sweet wines with sweet foods. And even though this is very sweet wine, if you have a mouthful of chocolate fudge, chocolate cake, chocolate pie, relatively this wine no longer tastes sweet. It's just a perfect food pairing. Raspberries and chocolate are a perfect
They go
combination.
very good together. Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, since Giovanni's has just opened, a lot of people have red wine with their Italian food. Of course, they do have a stock bar there too. And
That's a picture of our tasting bar, the newly remodeled
Great.
Stonehouse Winery, and some of my friends there.
some of your friends. Owning a
that was what
winery, does
we
that
called
make you have
a
more
ballyhoo.
friends?
We called that a ballyhoo, and I had about 30 people. That my wife, we started having a dinner party, and we invited 5 people, and it turned to 35 very
Wow,
quickly.
I'm
But
sure.
there's some shots at the outside of our winery. I wish I'd brought that
Beautiful.
picture when you all were there with your boys.
Oh, yeah, we had a really nice time.
There's our winemaker, Mr. Fay Wheeler. My father's there. Dr. Lloyd Hassler, another one of our owners. Miss Jamie is there, one of our owners. Miss Jamie McGuire. There's a nice bottle of shots there.
Something very important. Okay, so we have.
There's the new baby. That is our new fully
Oh.
automated bottling line.
Never heard someone say that.
Well, now listen, that thing we can produce, I can bottle 250 cases an hour with
Really?
that. And we were bottling 300 cases a day by hand. And that is all vacuum sealed, all vacuum packaging. And that's,
Okay.
I'm sorry I called it my baby, but
That's okay.
that's brand new this year. It's a big deal.
It's a big
deal.
progress in business.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
Okay, well, you know what? This has been very informative. Do you have a website?
We do. StonehouseWinery.com. It's STONEHAUS. That confuses people.
Okay.
STONEHAUSWINERY.com.
And if anyone needs to get in touch with Tammy, who we really didn't let her talk much this morning, you can certainly do that. You can give us a call at 603-4848. Well, lots of things to choose from, and just because you drink alcohol doesn't mean you have to get drunk. And always drink responsibly. Make sure you have a driver.
Absolutely.
You can always taste the wine and spit it out. You can always taste it and spit it out.
Whenever anyone in Athens wants to have a wine tasting, they can call me, and I'll come and set up I'll come personally
Yeah.
and go through all the things you're curious about on how to taste wine. So yes, I'd love to do that.
How often do you see the owner of a winery do that? So
I would love to
that's
do
good.
that. Love to
All
do
right.
that.
He does everything at the
It does it all. All right. Well, we were out yesterday and we were visiting the Wellness Center and we ran into some very special ladies and we have some photos to share with you. This one right here was all over Jamie. That is Anne's mother. Hello, Marie. I hope she has a wonderful day today. And now this next one, we were talking about the wet dry. Some people are for it, some people aren't for it. Just get out and vote. Make sure you do that. And yes, Jamie says they were all over him. He enjoyed that very much. It was hard to get him to leave. Ladies, it was an enjoyment getting to know you. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this.